Okay, welcome back. In today's episode I got a cartridge that has a cracked PCB board, so I'm gonna have to do a board swap. Just before I start, I want to test to see if this card works for whatever reason, and that's really bizarre. As big as a crack in this board and this game still fires up. But I mean, this card is more desirable than the one I'm gonna swap it with, so I'm gonna put a new board on it. Okay, so time to take this card apart. Right here you can really see the crack. It's missing almost all the 3 or 4 pins. So the only reason why I think this cartridge works is because the 2 pins that to the right, they're ground pins. They're not really too necessary, so I think there was just enough contact to get this game to fire up. But see, in this situation I have a Ken Griffey Jr., so I can just swap the board. I know that it uses the same ROM, the same PCB style board, so I can just swap the ROM and it should fire right up. So this tool that I'm using to desolder this chip here is called the Hakko Ep31 desoldering tool. So somebody had asked in a previous video what this tool was. It's a Hakko Ep31. So this tool really makes it easy to remove these chips. So once I remove the Ken Griffey ROM, I'll just add the Smash Brothers ROM. Now make sure the notch on the chip goes to the right side of the board, or else you won't get anything, it won't work for you. So here it is soldered on the board, and I'm going to try it out, see if it fires up. Now keep in mind, I didn't swap the RAM, but you can also swap the RAM, and I'll show you later on in this video. As you can see, the game is working just fine. You don't have to swap the RAM if you don't want to, but I know that this one board has a slimmer RAM chip and the other one has a larger RAM chip. So like you can see in this video, it's really unnecessary, but I'm going to do it anyway just for consistency's sake. Now one more thing to keep in mind, sometimes you do have to swap the CIC chip, that's the lockout chip. There was, I think, 4 or 5 different variants that N64 cartridges use. So certain carts need certain CICs, but in this case both these games use the same CIC, so I don't have to swap it. So right here you can see that there's one chip is slimmer package and the other one is a larger package, but the board does accommodate for either or. So if you have a smaller RAM or a larger RAM, you can fit them on either side, either board. So I'm just going to do that for consistency's sake. If the Smash Brothers cartridge that I use has a larger RAM, I'll just fit it with the larger RAM. But keep in mind, they're the exact same thing. So like I said, these boards accommodate for both size packages, but you just have to clear up the through holes. They actually just solder the through holes shut. For whatever reason, you do have to remove the solder from those holes. So here's what the desoldering gun sounds like. This is why I mute it and fast forward through this, because it's a very lengthy process and a very noisy process. So here's the part where I usually just fast forward through all this work. but I'm gonna tell you what station that I use. It's a Kisger. It's spelled KSGER T12 style station, which you can find them on AliExpress or Amazon, even eBay, for about $45–50. My station that I actually prefer to use, it's the same thing, believe it or not. It's the same thing, except mine has a hot air rework station included, and it's a little more expensive. But if you can usually find these T12 stations by Kisger for about $45–50, and all over the place, Banggood, Amazon, AliExpress, wherever. And they're just super great for this work that I do, especially with the T12 style tips, where you turn the switch on the station, you turn it on, and in 8 seconds you're at peak thermal temperature. Like, you can't beat that. Now, this tip that I use here is a KU style tip. Now, if you buy this station, you're gonna get a K tip, which is the same. It has the same profile. It's just much it's much larger than the KU tip. So you'll get an ILS tip generally, and that's a conical pointy tip, and those you can't really do much with. I don't prefer to use those tips at all for almost anything, except to burn a pilot hole or something in the plastic. But the tip that it comes with is a K tip. It's a larger, wider tip, and the reason why I don't use that, and I bought the KU tip, smaller version of it, is because if you're doing precision work, you'll knock off other components, or you might not be able to get into a small section of the board. So with the K tip, I can still drag solder. I can still do much more precision work than I can with the regular tip, and it works really great. As you can see, I get this chip in place. Doesn't take me long. Now I'm just with the camera in my face, this usually takes a little bit longer. Off camera, I usually knock this out much quicker. It's just my curse. Whenever I'm being filmed, it just takes twice the time that it would normally take. But yeah, if you're wondering what station I use, it's a Kisger KSGER T12 style tip. Now, I don't have an affiliate link, so I'm not gonna make any money on them. It's just something I prefer to use. So if you want, go look for it. Find it on eBay, Amazon, AliExpress, wherever. Probably next month or in a future video in the near future, I might do a video on all the equipment that I use, as far from little things to the main things. I feel like it's informative, and maybe somebody will appreciate that video, maybe not. If you don't want to see that video, let me know. If you do want to see it, let me know in the comment section below. Okay, so after I solder the RAM stick in place, here's the finished product, and see what happens. Of course, it never fires up on the first shot. Second shot always fires up. So it seems to be working. So yeah, I didn't need to swap the RAM stick. It didn't really matter, but just to keep consistency's sake, I do want the larger chip on the Smash Brothers board, on the Smash Brothers game. So I'll put in the shielding, put the screws, close this up, and this thing is ready to go. So yeah, sometimes these videos end abruptly, so I'm just gonna close out from right here. I really appreciate everybody for watching. I'm growing really fast in my opinion, and I hope to continue growing. So if you like these videos, please share it with somebody, give it a like, comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. And once again, thank you for watching.